Welcome. Today we are on episode 25. Episode 25. Who would have thought? Today is a special day. Today is a special day, episode 25. And we're going only doing great things from here. We're only moving forward from here. Right? We cannot be stopped. Today, Tuesday, May 6th. We are on episode 25 of Men-Tal-k. The journey hasn't been an easy one. Sometimes just the topic in itself. Sometimes I get persons to talk because many people would comment, send me messages, but they don't want to come on the program themselves to talk. So that's why I said it wasn't been an easy one. But it was a nice journey nevertheless. Nevertheless, it has been an amazing journey. When we started on Tuesday, November 19th, International Men's Day, the vision was to carry this thing worldwide, to help as many men as possible, to make them the best, help them become the best version of themselves. And so far, I believe that has been achieved. We are achieving that goal. Every time, over and over, we are achieving that goal. That goal, still the same goal, and it's being achieved at every single venture. And this being episode 25 is a great thing, but here, even greater news. Just now, Men-Tal-k, it will be on a radio station. It will be on internet radio, the lab radio. Soon, stay tuned. You'll hear more information about that in the coming weeks, and it could be sooner than you think. So we are doing good things. Someone saw what the program is doing and offered us the space to do that radio program. An amazing thing. So I want to say thank you for that. What we are going to do in this episode is to look back on the previous 24 episodes. Let's touch back on, just to touch a few points on the previous episodes to see how far we've come. And some of the topics are relevant up to today. They're still relevant. So just touch on them slightly to do a recap of what has gone and what we look forward to. So the first episode, episode 1, November 19th, 2024. Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. The rebirth, the birth. This is where I gave a little rundown on reason behind it, and I'll just do it again. This has been with me to do since 2019. Since 2019. And I've been running and running and running because I wasn't sure. So God has told me, based on everything that's happening and all the men I would have interacted with, that hey, I need to do this. But it was supposed to be as a radio program. However, trying to get on the radio was a bit difficult. So someone gave me the idea of a podcast, and I was waiting and waiting. And this was part of it too. And then Luke Commoner told me, start to run. Start with it, and everything would fall into place as it go along. Everything hasn't fully fallen into place. However, I'm glad that I started. I am very glad that I started because things are only getting better. More persons are being touched, more lives are being saved. And this is the purpose. This was the purpose. This is the purpose of Men Talk 2. Making it's a safe, judgment free space that men have to express themselves. And the aim is to make men the best versions of themselves. With the birth, told you that in 2019, and then this happened this year, thing last year, things just happened in such a way that, hey, this is what had to get done. So, so we did it. Episode 2, on the 26th of November, the partnership. It's at the beginning of something beautiful. That's when I sat down with Mr. Sule Joseph. And Sule is a child and family, specialized in child and adolescent child and family services counselor. And he sat down with us, gave us a little background on what he does, his journey, and how he see things helping. And what he said is that as men, we don't seek help. So he wants to make it a norm. That seeking help is a norm. It's not taboo. Move away from being taboo. Because when we seek help, we get to deal with things that has been bothering us. Deal with things that bothering us and take it to another level. Because sometimes we can't deal with it on our own. And he saw it plenty with during his work, what he's been doing. He has seen it, and he say more so the young ladies are more coming forward, but it's harder for the young men to come forward. When they come forward, a lot of body breakthrough that happens is wonderful. Episode 3, that was on December 3rd, which was also the International Day for Persons with Disabilities. And that episode was entitled Don't Count Me Out, Coming From Behind to Conquer. And our guest was Mr. Akini Gill. And Akini has a disability and was counted out. Despite that disability, he has proven those who counted him out wrong. And I said, you too can prove others wrong. Akini has dyslexia and dysphaxia. And he told us about his journey. He told us that one of the renowned psychologists, counselor, told his mother that she goes on Charlotte Street with him, George Street, to sell because at that point in time his mind wasn't developed. He told us that how someone took a chance on him and paid for him to go Ishis. That was a school for persons with learning disabilities. And from there, they worked with him. And today, he is married with 2 children. He's a lecturer, a senior lecturer in the University of Trinidad and Tobago, teaching music education. He got a scholarship to go to New York University to do his master's. So he was counted out. But the support he got from his mother and the other person who took a chance on him, today he is a contributing member of society and he's doing better than many who did not have that disability that he has. Episode 4, 10th of December, I'm Not Giving Up. That episode came out of the episode with Mr. Gill, the previous episode, where don't count me, but I'm not giving up because no matter how you feel you're down, someone has it harder than you. However, if you don't give up, you would succeed. No matter what happens, and not giving up. So perseverance is key. No matter what happens, perseverance is key. So do not give up. That's the most important thing. Episode 5, on December 17th, we spoke with the founder of the Dear Men Project, Mr. Gad Voza, and he told us why he started the Dear Men Project, and it was gathered towards men, especially Caribbean men, and to help them deal specifically with issues that affect them, help them not to be misunderstood, guide them. Right? And he has even gone further now with the same Dear Men Project and gone drill down into the young persons, the youth, teenagers, to help them from that age. So it'll be easier when they reach adults. Episode 6, No Expectations. That was such a nice interview. No Expectations. December 24th, that was Christmas Eve. And that episode was with Mr. Arnold Best. He was is a behavioral specialist. What he did, he shared some insight with us onto why he does what he does. And he told us this came about for a year he spent about 6 or 7 days in jail when he was growing up. He was living a life. And then Christmas Eve, he went in jail and came out on the 3rd, around the 1st or 2nd of January, somewhere around there. And that changed his life. From then, from coming out, he decided to make something better of himself. He went and even walk on the hot coals, walk on fire. And he gave us great advice. And he told us we need to look inwardly first. And what the major thing is, no expectations. Because when we have expectations of persons, when we get disappointed, and that's when things happen. No expectations in terms of, spoke about love. Spoke about love unconditionally. Right? You love the person for that, not if they can do, not because they can do something for you. Right? No, there was no expectations with Mr. Arnold Best. Episode 7, December 31st. That was Old Year's Night. Forging Forward. This is where I sat down and recap the previous 6 episodes and let you know what to come for 2025. One of it was health. The others, after health, interview other persons, prominent persons. The aim is to get some more interviews with those and to show that you too can make it. You too are not alone in what you may be going through. And that's why these people have to come and share their stories. When they come and share that story, you would see that, hey, if he can do it, maybe I can do it too. Episode 8, Your Health is Your Wealth. That was the first episode for 2025, where we spoke with certified fitness coach and managing director of Muscle Movers Fitness Limited, Mr. Kenneth Waif. And Kenneth told us how important exercise is, movement. 30 minutes a day for at least 3 days a week. We should get onto that. And I started. I fell off the train, but I started again. Consistency is the key. And episode 9, 14th of January, I shared with you 2 testimonies that I did some years ago. Episode 10, a journey, that's around Carnival time, a journey with Keston Keskis Patrick. Keston shared with us. He's an individual from Trinidad and Tobago, multi-talented, better known as Keskis in the musical arena. He shares his inspiration, his ups and downs, his motivation, and his goals. He carried us through his journey that made him the man he is today. I know Keston, or 25 plus years, or 25 years, and some of the things he shared with us that I didn't even know. I know him 25 years. He shared with us how when his father left, that had a negative impact on his life. a negative impact on his life. He started to go down the wrong road. His mother was trying, but he didn't care. And his uncle, KV Charles, drew him in from one phone call. One phone call. His mother had called, was calling for him, and he wasn't taking her on. And his uncle, KV Charles, said, "Hey, your mother called him." He said, "I'll come by in 15 minutes and you better be home." And he reached home within that 15 minutes. And the following day, KV came and took him up and brought him to the music school that I was in. And that's where we met Keston for the first time. And now Keston is a producer. Keston is the keyboardist in the band Bungee Garden and the Asylum band with Bungee Garden and Fan Lance Alvarez. And he traveled the world from being, he could have been a negative statistic. Now he's a contributing member of society. He also told us that he's farming, he works on a farm, and also he and his brother took over the father's business as they got older. The father was a joiner, and they have a business doing that now. Episode 11, the break, where we took on January 28th, we took a look at the messages that came through. People wanted a break or they were tired and told them about not giving up. Episode 12, the power of not giving up is real. And you'd see that many of the things that we go speak about here is about not giving up. Because the suicide rates for men are higher than women. And it said that more women attempt suicide, but more men commit suicide. So men are more successful at committing suicide. So we're trying to prevent all that. We speak about perseverance, how to overcome failure and how to succeed, because at some point in time, we all fail. We all fail, but that don't mean we have to stay down. Episode 13 on the 11th of February. It's not where it is, it's here it is. It's not where it is, it's here it is. We spoke with a young man by the name of Isaiah. Isaiah is from the East Port of Spain area, and he shares his story and what motivated and motivates him to want better for himself. He gives advice to his younger self and younger men based on the life he lived and what he doesn't want to have to experience. He told us he nearly lost his life in December by living in the wrong company, and he decided to change his life. Gratitude is a must. We must live a life of gratitude. Living a life of gratitude is something we must never fall short of, because we always have so much to be grateful for. So much to be grateful for. And that was episode 14 on February 18th. Episode 15, February 25th. Protecting yourself and mind, or the mindset reset. That was the name of the episode. Talk about protecting yourself, taking the first step on creating healthy boundaries. We need to create those boundaries to protect ourselves. And don't let anyone make you feel bad about protecting yourself with boundaries. We set that mindset. Sometimes we have to reset it, take a step back, move away from where we are. Because you can't change if you're in the same circle all the time and the same circle pulling you down. That was what that episode was about. Protecting yourself, mindset reset. And episode 16, 4th of March, only God knows. This episode, we get a chance to be part of a conversation where we spoke to a couple young persons, right? Their names, I think, what's their names? Paul and Brown. Yes, Paul and Brown. Where they discussed their relationships, how the relationship was on rocky ground, and they turned to God. And that's why I say only God knows. One wife left and he don't know why she left. And the other time mother put him out the house, telling him to leave out of the blue. He find there's a big change. And they were at a loss. And only God knows. God alone was holding them together. Episode 17, the 11th of March, we spoke with Mr. Brian Jones. He's the chairman of the Love Until Foundation. And he shares his story with us, where he came from, why he does what he does. One of his stories that his mother, I think, he grew up with and they were poor, some of the things that didn't have. And he said while growing up, he wanted something better for his mother and for himself and for the children that he may bring forth. And today, he has done just that. He started the Love Until Foundation for that same reason, to help the less fortunate, because he was less fortunate and he wanted better for himself. So he dug himself out of that, he climbed out of that. He was an insurance executive for over 40 years. An insurance executive for over 40 years. Put his children through school. He lost a son. And losing that son still bothers him today. And he went to counseling to deal with it. Counseling is important. That is better must come. Episode 18. Still standing. That is on the 18th of March. Episode 18, so ironic, on the 18th. 18th of March. I'm now checking it here. Episode 18 was on the 18th of March. And basically, you come too far to turn back now. And there was a saying in my church group by one of the young ladies, we've come too far to come this far. This episode, we spoke about internal conflicts that you may face as men on a daily basis. And this was for the women who have men in their lives, may it be brothers, cousins, whoever, to take a look and notice signs that something may be bothering them and how to help them. For still standing, because men deal with internal conflicts daily. We deal with internal conflicts daily. So the internal conflicts that we're not good enough, we need to be better. If we're doing everything we can to help our family, everything like that. Sometimes we retreat and stay quiet. But it's all good. Still do what we have to do to become who we are. Just not giving up. We're still standing. Episode 19 on the 25th of March. 25th of March. We discussed Paul and Brown's situation with their significant others. They both have some trying times ahead of them and need their advice. I went out there to get advice for them. And persons responded. Why I went out there to get advice? Because one got served divorce papers and the other one, father stepped in and put him out. So they didn't know what to do next. Did not know what to do next. And you all give some very good advice. Some very good advice for them. One person said, turn to the Lord. And that is always good, eh? We turn to the Lord. And they have been turning to God and decide now to let go and let God. One person said, she wanted divorce, give her it. The other person said, starting all over again is going to be rough. But sometimes we need to start over because God is breaking us down to build us back up. He is breaking us down to build us up. And that's important. That's just some of the advice we got for them. Episode 20 on the 1st of April. Calculated risk. This episode we spoke with Marvin, a Trinbagonian who migrated to Canada 4 years ago. He shares with us the thinking behind his migration, his experience in Canada, and the pros and cons of migrating and how the change impacted his life. Marvin went down real with us about his experience and the birth of his first child. He brought pure, unadulterated truth, the way we do it on Men Talk too. And he gave us true insight on how the move was. It was planned. And it's not that how people say it just migrate and come out good. No. Marvin made a planned move, he and his wife. They saved and they went up. It was a difficult transition at times, and then he and his wife decided to have children. And they had a baby. And he said the support he got from his mother-in-law and his mother, that they went up to give them that support because he and his wife was up there alone. And one of the key things he spoke about is that he was going to work, coming back, helping his wife see a children, and that's watching the child in the night. But then his mother watched him and noticed that he is going to crash. And she said that you need rest. If you don't take this rest, because he was trying to argue with her, and she told him, if you don't take this rest, you wouldn't be good for yourself or your family. That there is a mother's intuition. That there was a mother's intuition. Episode 21, April 8th. And that episode 21 was so special. That episode 21 was the first time we went on a YouTube platform. Episode 21 was the first time we did video. The second time we did video was the first time we actually went on a YouTube platform. So Men Talk 2 is not only on Spotify, but we are also on YouTube. So if you look for Men Talk 2, you'll find us on Spotify. Men-Tal-k-T-O-O. You'll find us on Spotify and YouTube. That was a big step for us, and we want to continue that journey. Episode 21 was titled Living a Life of Service. And we spoke to another person I know for years, 20 plus years, Mr. Mark Hayes, a man of many hats. Trust me, I'll tell you what he is. He's a deacon in the Anglican Church, a firefighter in the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services, a community worker, assistant chaplain of the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services. He's also the assistant chaplain of the St. Mary's Children's Home, the assistant chaplain at Bishop Anstey Trinity College East Secondary School, a youth worker and a Christian. Mark shared his journey with us. And although I knew Mark for all that time, I did not know a lot of the things Mark shared with us. Right? Mark showed that his journey was destined and covered by God because he was doing it before and he dropped out and then he came back again, and his father had a car and wasn't letting him the vehicle unless it was church he was going to. Mark took that mantle and become the best he can be. He became a firefighter by just going to accompany somebody. And the great thing about it is God put him in place because he went to accompany someone. The person he accompanied did not get through, and he got through, and that's the rest is history. Mark has been a firefighter since then. Episode 22 on the 15th of April, fathers are important. Powerful topic. And yes, fathers are important. Fathers are important. No if, buts, or maybes. We need them in our children's life. And one of the things we touched on in that episode is that the difference between, this was a professor at the university, the difference between a mother's love and a father's love. He basically said they do have the same roles, but how? So he said a mother protects, but this is how she protects. She protects her children by not wanting them to face the outside world, what the world has for them. So she protects them away from that. And what a father does, a father protects them in a different way. He understands the world and he understands that they would have to face it. So what he does, he prepares them to face the challenges that may come. So the mother shelters them from the challenge. So she don't want her children to ever have to go through this. So she shields them from it. But the father understands that, hey, at some point in time, the children would go through this at some point in time. So it's best that I prepare them for it now. That is why fathers are important. See, that key thing by itself there, that alone could show you why fathers are important. Or a good male role model for your son when he's growing up. Episode 23, when fathers are important, part 2, where we sat down with Arnold Best again, and the same Arnold Best from episode 6, one of our partners, and he gave insights and some powerful views and perspective on the importance of fatherhood. And not only fatherhood, but parenthood. Because being a parent is one of the most important jobs you'll ever have. Because your child never asked to come here. We brought the child into this world, and we need to father them, to be a parent to them. And he said his emotions again. Emotion, people get in their feelings, men and women get in their feelings and forget the child. But no, at the end of the day, that is your child. That's what he said. That's your child. Forget the feeling. Forget the feeling that you may have. Forget the emotions that you have towards the child mother, and see about your child. Episode 24, say always look up. That was on the 28th. Sorry, not the 28th, the 29th of April. Always look up. Basically, said you fall 7 times, you get up 8. You fall 7 times, you get up 8. And the most important, why I say always look up, is when you fall, make sure to fall on your back. Because when you fall on your back, you are looking to the sky. And once you are looking to the sky, you can get up because you are seeing up. So remember, once you are falling, ensure you fall and land on your back. Because if you land on your back, you can always look up. And once you are looking up, you can see up and you can get up. Right? And the song that was specific as Donnie McClurkin, we fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down, but got up. But if you stay down, you have nowhere to go. But once you get up, you can go again. And sometimes you have to understand that sometimes you need to be pulled back in order to shoot forward. An arrow cannot speed forward if it isn't pulled back. And I learned this a very long time ago. And who told me this, boy? I think it's Don Lafoucade, if I'm not mistaken, in a session he was having. A setback is a setup for a comeback. I learned that straight out of secondary school. I think in Form 5, a motivational session the school had, I believe. A setback is a setup for a comeback. So no matter what you do, failure is not the problem. Staying down when you fail is the problem because you stayed down. You stayed down. You haven't looked up. Always look up. Always look up. Right? You must always get up. Always fall and land on your back so you look into the sky like that. Once you look into the sky, you can get up. Sometimes in getting up, you may need help to get up. That is not a problem. Help is important. Sometimes people are there to help us. Sometimes we don't even know we need the help, but when the help comes, take it. Because we'll surely fall down at some point in time. We are not perfect. We make mistakes. We get hurt. Many different things happen to us as men and as individuals on the whole, as human beings on the whole. But staying down is not an option as a man. I watched a comedy special where Chris Rock said, only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are loved by what they can do or provide. First thing we must learn to provide for ourselves first. We must do and provide for ourselves and learn that no matter what happens, we pick ourselves back up. Hurt is one of the greatest things we'll face as a man. It will destroy us. You know, they used to say, to banker. Right, but all men at some point in time would have gone through that. We could learn from the experiences of others. You know, they say experience is the greatest teacher. No, I've learned along the way that experience is not the greatest teacher. Learning from experience, from others' experiences, is the greatest teacher. If it has someone out there who could tell you how to do something so you don't have to experience it that way, and you become a better person and go ahead of it, that's the greatest teacher. That is why there are books out there. People write books to help. That's why there are books out there. Have a lot of books as men we should read. A lot of books we should read to be better ourselves. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But an even greater book that is hard to find is Talk and Grow Rich by Ron Holland. It's a mindset changing book. A mindset change. If you're into business, the 4-day work week. There's another mind changing book. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Mindset again. The 48 Rules of Power. Mindset again. 48 Laws of Power, sorry. Mindset again. You can read your Bible. Mindset, because the Bible shows us a whole lot of things. Talk to God. You may not be aware of the things that you go through, but He was always there. He would be able to help you. So looking forward, this is episode 25. Looking forward, we're only looking forward to greater and better things. The first 24 episodes, we had no woman on board, no woman. Although there are a lot of professional women who wants to be a part of the program because they work with men all the time. But the program was Men Talk too. However, moving forward, it wouldn't be a plethora of women, but some key women come and share their experiences, share they have dealt with certain situations, share how they have how they taught men to deal with certain situations that they will be going forward in their lives. If they are willing and I see that they can make a contribution, I'll bring them on. And then, because we need to see things from different perspectives sometimes, and when we raise our concerns, sometimes it's good to bring someone of the opposite sex, someone who the concern is with, to come and have us a rapport, to give you the idea of the thinking behind it sometimes, or to help them understand the thinking behind what we may do. So that's what going forward. Going forward, we're going to greater and better things. As I said at the beginning, we would be on the lab radio shortly. The lab radio. And very soon, very, very soon. And the time will be from 8 to 10 p.m. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I haven't confirmed the dates as yet, but very soon you'll be able to have a little more interactive session with me. Call in, we have a discussion, you give your views, but look forward to that very shortly. Men Talk 2 would be on the lab radio at least twice a week, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Between those hours, may not be for the full 8 to 10, maybe just from 8 to 9, 8 or 8 to 10, but that is our time slot there. I'll keep you all posted. And if you know anyone who you want to help the cause, feel free. Feel free. We are open and willing to assist and take any assistance that we can get. So, moving forward to greater and better things, we're continuing the work that we are doing. We are continuing to discuss your issues that you send forward. You call all the issues. We are continuing to work hand in hand with you. Men Talk 2 with Akil Ordain. It's a program, it's a safe space, judgment-free space where you, the man, can come, share, and discuss openly. I say thank you for taking this time to share with me. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, Tuesday. So have a good day and have a great week. I thank you.